Hi everyone, my name's Scott and I'm a senior digital designer here at RocketMill. And the thing is, with designers, people usually find us quite friendly. We're friendly folk, we often live in our own little designer bubble, and we often wear funky shirts. But I feel our most commendable quality is our strong desire and passion to do good. You know, we want to make things better for other people, to be heroes, for lack of a better word. So today I'm going to show you how you can use the power of emotion to help social change. So to quote David Bowie, we can be heroes. Now, my story starts with Mildred Hayes. And it's not a very happy story because basically Mildred's daughter was murdered. And I'm sorry to start off so darkly, but the police failed to catch the culprit. And basically Mildred took it upon herself to challenge the authorities to seek justice by renting billboards, asking why no one's been arrested. Frances McDormand won an Oscar for her role as Mildred in the movie 3 Billboards. She's quite a passionate woman, and her beliefs around this whole thing about her daughter being murdered were so personal. But you can't deny that she's a hero. You know, she's a strong woman who decided to inspire people. And even in real life, although the story is somewhat fictional, in real life, people have used this story to help their marketing strategies. On June 14th, 2017, Grenfell Tower in London caught fire, killing 71 people. Now, a lot of people today, it's over a year now, but a lot of people today feel like justice hasn't been served and that the incident is still being ignored. Now, Justice for Grenfell, a community-led organization, their main goal is to obtain justice for everyone who was affected by the fire that day. They were inspired by 3 billboards so much that they decided to do the same thing. Same 3 advertisements driving around London, and people emotionally connected with this. And the same way they connected with the fire whenever that happened. Those billboards reignited emotions, and they reminded people to force social change. And whether you agree or disagree with this sort of the message that they're trying to say, because you're never really going to please everybody, but you can't argue that this is moving, and it starts a discussion, and that is the power of emotion. Emotions are the most powerful tools that we can use as advertisers. And when they're used to their full potential, they become your superpower, and you shouldn't be afraid to use emotions to capture your audience. You can unite your audience with them. Like Mildred and Justice for Grenfell, many of today's creative ads use emotional connections to call for social change. Everybody knows this ad, it's mentioned many times in forefronts, but this Like a Girl campaign from Always was built around a social experiment to show the effect that a phrase like a girl has on society, especially on girls pre and post puberty. And P&G used this campaign to connect you with Always. You've most likely either said, "You throw like a girl," or you've been on the receiving end of that comment. And that ad has even made people think twice about using that phrase. And in my eyes, Always are heroes. So using emotions to target diversity is considered a hot topic today in society when you've got things in the news like Black Lives Matter, climate change, and equal rights for LGBT. People are always going to have split opinions on those issues. And the same goes for our ads and our ad creative. People will challenge you, people will have opinions. But when it comes to diversity, there is a very fine line about getting that emotional connection right. Let's take Pepsi. I'm sure you've all heard of the stories of this campaign where they featured Kendall Jenner, where she tried to make an emotional connection with the people, giving a can of Pepsi to a police officer during a protest. Now, the issue that I had with this ad, and many people did, was the way that they portrayed a protest like it was some sort of social outing, like it was fun to be at a protest. But not to mention the fact that they cast Kendall Jenner, who's a rich, white, cis, able-bodied woman. And she's representing the people? If that were a black man at a protest, things would be so much different. Of course, the ad sank, and people were quick to take it up on Twitter. According to Amobi Brand Intelligence, digital content engagement around Pepsi increased significantly to 366% the day of that ad first airing. But not all publicity is good publicity. 43% of that content engagement mentioned Black Lives Matter. 31% labeled the ad tone deaf. And despite defending the ad initially, Pepsi eventually pulled the ad. Now, earlier this year, Heineken also missed the mark. Their campaign, "Sometimes Lighter is Better," was pulled for being, in my opinion, completely racist. You can imagine what that ad was pulled for. But there have been times when Heineken have got it right. As part of their Worlds Apart campaign, and you may have seen this before, they took 2 people with opposing views and put them in a room together. So The ad's quite long, so I'm just going to show you a clip just to sort of set the premise of it.
I would describe my political views as the new right.
I'd say that I'm left.
Feminism today is man-hating.
I would describe myself as a feminist, 100%.
I don't believe that climate change exists.
We're not taking enough action on climate change.
I think it's about time these people got off their high horse and started looking for credible problems that actually exist.
It's absolutely critical that trans people have their own voice.
That's not right. You can't, you know, you're a man, be a man, or you're a female, be a female.
Women do need to remember that we need you to have our children.
Could I be friends with someone that says a woman's place in the home?
So the ad then goes on, and the couples partake in a number of icebreakers. It results in them building a bar. You emotionally connect with the people in that ad. Will giving everyone a Heineken rid the world of morons? Absolutely not. They're not trying to change your views on trans rights, climate change, or feminism, but they've managed to make this ad appeal to a much wider target audience than the 6 people that are featured in it. For example, you're sat in a pub, and you're having a conversation with your mates, and they start talking about Theresa May. You say, whoa, 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 hold on a minute. I don't want to talk about politics, we're in the pub. But before you know it, you're 3 pints in, and you're talking about Brexit in your local tavern with strangers. So we've all been there, and people can relate with this ad on that level, and we all have opinions on these issues. But I feel this ad is so successful because it's less about the product. It's more about that emotional connection, and you as a viewer with these people, you connect with them. And you search for the same common ground in the way that they did in the ad. And it's about starting a conversation. It's about talking and listening. And it's a clever advertising, in my opinion. So just to sum things up, we can be heroes. We shouldn't be afraid to use our emotions to capture users' attention. It's the most powerful tool that we have, and we should use it. Don't be afraid to ruffle a few feathers. You know, obviously you don't want to offend anybody unless you're like Mildred and you want to pluck the whole damn bird. And 3, use your emotions as your superpower. Be a marketing superhero. Thanks for listening.